welcome back. But look, if you've had second thoughts, I quite understand, really.
Well, no, I haven't, okay? So it looks like you guys are stuck with me.
So what now? Celebration!
Yeah, let's celebrate.
Well, there's my hot chocolate, hey?
Forget that.
Together, you and I forever and ever, no matter where you are, you're my guiding star.
And from the very first moment I saw you, I never felt such emotion. I'm walking on air, just to know you are there.
Got everything? All ready for the off? Come on. It's the end of the holiday, not the end of the world. I've got to go home sometime. Looks like we'll have to stay then.
Yay!
Butlins, let yourself go, and you won't want to leave.
Haven't you gone yet?
Are you trying to get rid of me?
No, of course not.
You're up to something. I can tell. Come on, out with it.
I'm making a Nescafe commercial.
On your own? Oh, we always do them together.
Not this one, Richard.
Why not?
It's about those precious moments when everyone's gone out for the day, and I can enjoy my Nescafe in peace.
Oh, can't we both enjoy it?
No.
Nescafe. Coffee at its best. Couldn't I just stay for the bean shake?
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. I'll give you a hand, Mum.
What, with that bleach cleaner?
What's wrong?
You're going to need Flash for this greasy mess. Just watch Flash shift this lot.
Hey, that's not fair.
Uh-huh.
I am trying, Mum.
I know. But don't do things by halves. Next time, use Flash.
What next time?
Flash cleans greasy grime in half the time.
This evening, Arthur has invited his nephew George round to dinner. They're going to try Kattomeat's new tastier recipe. But even though George may have the same taste in food, he certainly doesn't have the same taste in music.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
Kattomeat. Arthur wouldn't put his name to anything else.
Oh, hello. I've just moved in next door and I was just wondering if I could borrow some tea.
Of course, come in. Actually, I'm just making some. Would you like a cup?
Yes, please.
Don't mind Randy. He won't bite.
Are you two getting on okay?
Fine.
Time for a sharp exit. Time for a cool, sharp Harp.
There's nothing like starting the day on a high note. I started taking a real interest in cereals when I heard about oat bran. Seems a low-fat diet that's high in oat bran could help lower your cholesterol. Sounds like common sense to me. Then I thought, why not make a point of having a good breakfast? It's common sense as well.
Come on, quick, quick. Bye.
Right. And here it is. A really appetizing start to the day from Kellogg's. It's got common sense written all over it.
Only at the MFI sale. Lowest prices guaranteed on Schreiber rigid kitchens. Up to 60% off. The MFI sale. Now on.
Ring for your free Butlins brochure. But remember, you won't want to leave.
The headlines this lunchtime: man in court accused of murdering father at his Cardiff home. Cardigan crash tragedy, police appeal for witnesses. And it's an MBE for Mrs Mop in the New Year's honours list. Good afternoon. A 32-year-old Cardiff man has appeared in court accused of murdering his father. Nigel Boyd from St Mellons was remanded in custody for 8 days.
The body of 57-year-old Colin Boyd was found early yesterday at his home in St Mellons on the outskirts of Cardiff. Today, his son Nigel, who lives at the same address, appeared before the city's magistrates charged with murdering him. Nigel Boyd, a 32-year-old electronic tester, was dressed in a brown leather jacket and open-neck shirt as he stood in the dock for the brief 3-minute hearing. He was remanded in custody for 8 days until his next court appearance on January the 8th. There was no application for bail.
A 33-year-old West Wales man has appeared in court charged with murdering his wife at their home at Pembroke Dock at the weekend. Ronald Paul Rice was remanded in custody by magistrates at Haverfordwest, accused of killing his wife Pauline on Saturday night. The town of Cardigan is in mourning today after the deaths of 5 local men in a car crash. Police have been trying to piece together what went wrong.
The 5 had been travelling in a Vauxhall Nova along the A487 near Blaenanach when the accident happened. For some reason still not clear, the vehicle veered out of control and smashed head-on into a wall. Today, police appealed for witnesses. The dead have been named as driver Calvin Wynne Davis, who was 17. The passengers were auctioneer Barclay Lewis, builder Hugh Nicholas, agricultural supplier Dylan Davis, and mechanic Barry Jones. All were aged between 17 and 23 and lived in the Cardigan area.
2 men are in custody at Shrill after an armed robbery at a filling station in Ruthin. 2 women assistants at the Dufferin service station were threatened by the men wearing balaclavas and brandishing a pitchfork. They escaped with a small amount of cash. The 2 were also helping detectives investigating a similar incident at a St Asaph garage last week. Around 60 Welshmen and women are included in the New Year's honours list published today. The top award goes to a Welsh office civil servant, and there's an MBE for a former cleaner.
Owen Rees, who's head of agriculture at the Welsh office, is recognised with the Order of the Bath. And among the many MBEs awarded in Wales today, there's one for Bronwell Cullinane, who started work as a cleaner at Abergavenny's Neville Hall Hospital and is now the unit manager for domestic services in Gwent.
My own staff in the hospital should be pleased about it. I think really it belongs to them as well, because if it wasn't for those, the hospitals would be dirty.
Plaid Cymru MP David Wigley is calling for urgent government action to make sure that local authorities are better equipped to deal with floods. The Carnarvon MP made his call during a visit to Tremadog and Glanmorfa and Gwynedd, which was the scene of flash flooding over the weekend.
Mr Wigley said he was very sad to see the amount of damage that had been caused to property by flash flooding at the weekend. A blocked culvert has been blamed for sending water and mud pouring into many properties, ruining furniture and carpets. Mr Wigley is planning to meet officers from Goiva District Council in a fortnight to discuss how similar flooding can be avoided in the future. The MP is also seeking a meeting with the Welsh office to raise his concerns that local government competitive tendering is leading to cuts in services. Mr Wigley says that the council only had 4 vehicles and a very limited supply of sandbags on the day that Tremadog and Glamorva were flooded.
And a family of 5 who had to evacuate their home at Tros Hirwaun on the Llyn Peninsula because of similar flooding later discovered it was on fire. Griffith and Helena Jones and their 3 children lost all their possessions in the mystery blaze, including all their Christmas presents. They're now staying with relatives. Experts are trying to discover the cause of a blaze overnight which gutted a wooden clubhouse at the Barron Hill Golf Club near Beaumaris on Anglesey. Firemen took 2 hours to bring the outbreak under control. Police say there's no evidence at the moment that the fire was started deliberately. Meanwhile, an electrical fault has been blamed for a fire which badly damaged the Iceland frozen food store at Flint and ruined stock valued at £90,000. Police had originally suspected arson, as the store is near an optician shop and offices which have been deliberately set on fire in the past fortnight. Rugby and Wales coach Ron Waldron has added no fewer than 8 names to his squad prior to the match against England on January the 19th. Wingers Glenn Webb and Mark Titley return, along with centre Colin Leahy, while there are 5 new forwards. 3 are props, Neil Einan and John Davis, accompanying Mike Griffiths, who's now clear of suspension. Glenn Llewellyn joins brother Gareth, while Swansea's versatile Steve Williams is also brought in. And finally, look at the weather now. There'll be sunny intervals with showers, some of them heavy, with the chance of hail and snow over the hills. The maximum temperature will be 7 degrees Celsius with a moderate westerly breeze. That's it for the moment. Now we join ITN in London for the latest national and international news.
Hello, welcome to ITN's News at One, the top stories from Britain and around the world. First, the headlines this Monday lunchtime. Europe may talk peace in Baghdad. America says we're still united. Egypt denies inviting Salman Rushdie to Cairo. We talk to him live. Ulster shootings. Eyewitness says car had stopped at checkpoint. And the First Lady of Romance, Dame Barbara Cartland. A European initiative aimed at averting a Gulf war by direct talks with Baghdad seems certain to win the approval of EC foreign ministers at emergency talks on Friday. Luxembourg's Foreign Minister Jacques Pousse, who'll chair Friday's meeting, says it's very likely he'll fly to Baghdad to meet his Iraqi counterpart Tariq Aziz. In America, the initiative is not being seen as a threat to the alliance against Saddam Hussein. In another development, President Bush has been warned that the American people are not yet committed to war. The Republican leader in the Senate, Bob Dole, says all avenues for peace should be explored.
Vice President Quayle, touring the Gulf, was not distracted by European diplomatic moves from his prime task. Having already persuaded the Saudis to boost their $9 billion contribution to the costs of Operation Desert Shield, he moves on to boost the morale of the US fighting men and women who will carry out its military objectives should it come to that. But in Washington, the senior Republican senator says it needn't. Bob Dole believes Baghdad is now showing signs of flexibility on peace talks, and Mr. Bush would be wise to react positively.
I have sort of a gut feeling the American people are not yet committed to war, and they want to make certain that President Bush has done everything, pursued every avenue for peace before the firing starts.
Politically, the firing starts on Thursday when Congress returns from its Christmas break. The Democrats, their majorities boosted by the November elections, are determined to place a leash on President Bush in the days running up to the UN deadline. And amid sporadic but growing protests at the prospects of war, 19 were arrested yesterday for invading the White House lawns and pouring red ink in a fountain. Those Democrats judge they are acting on behalf of the American people.
The president's judgment is that Congress continues to send the wrong signals to Iraq with talk of divisions. And Europe's initiative is only helpful if it's understood there will be no compromises with Iraq's aggression toward Kuwait. Alistair Stewart, ITN, Washington.
In Baghdad, the release of Ulsterman Bran